I can see ourselves.
Are we
Let me
live?
see ourselves. Yes, we are. Welcome to Power
We're live.
Couples. Woo woo.
Woo-hoo.
Welcome to Power. That's really
Well,
high up
that
there.
is very high up there. I can move it.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Great.
I think you move it and or I think you also scroll it in on us a little bit. Hello, Instagram. We're just setting up our show.
You want me to just do the dilly walk?
Yeah, just scroll it in just a little bit, a little more, and then just move it down a little bit. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Power Couples. That's perfection, except we'll just come my way a little bit.
No.
There it is. Welcome to Power Couples. On today's episode, we are talking about marriage, sex, and business.
What?
I like that you got in on that one word because we were just having this conversation behind the scenes. I was like, can we name it this? Like, is it legal?
Yeah, are we even allowed to say the word sex on Facebook? And this is the whole thing. It's like, okay, so power couples, our journey as a couple together, who run a business together and do life together and around each other, and how it like the ebbs and flows of all that stuff. Because many of you have that situation also. And this whole topic of sex is one of these ones that is, it's like nobody talks about it, and yet everybody wants to talk about it. And like
Is this what the episode is today?
It's everything. Marriage, sex, business.
Right? The things, and you know what we could have named it, and what we maybe should have named it, because it's the taboo: money, sex, and business.
Oh, money.
Should we
sex,
rename this episode?
and business.
It's already broadcasted across the world. But the subtitle, you know how back in the day it was like a title of a book and then it was like, or da 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 da. That's what ours is. Or money, sex, and business. The taboo topics that
that most society doesn't want to talk about.
Yeah.
Yet.
I mean, I don't even want to talk about it.
As a married couple.
I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Publicly.
But it's like, it's not that big of a deal.
No. Everybody does it. It's how we're all here. It's how the world exists. Yeah.
Blowing my mind already.
So welcome to another episode. We've got about a 20-minute episode for you all today.
Yep.
And we love your interaction because we want to know what you want to know about what your reactions to this are. It's so much fun. And we see it over on, because we stream to about 5 different places.
Yeah,
I see it over on,
we're here, and we're all over there.
that means like 7 different places.
Yeah.
I see it on my page when we go live. All of you who are reacting and commenting and loving on the show, I just thank you so much for doing that because it makes a difference to us.
It does.
Yeah. And our little like couple times a week show where we do couples in cars, hilariousness. But Power Couples is where we actually sit down and have a conversation that's all the way through, not stopped, because the other one happens on stories.
Yeah, which are like a minute at a time, which is really an interesting thing in itself to be like, hey, let's have a conversation, and then stop and do the thing and then start the conversation back up.
Which is I'm putting on hand cream, which is sometimes what our conversations are like anyway. Oh, you're gonna get some hand cream too?
No, I'm just smelling it. It smells like roses.
It's rose. It's lotion.
It's a lotion.
It's sitting there. So I was like, let's do it.
Yeah.
So are we, let me make sure we're not on mute or anything over here. Yeah, we're good.
Oh yeah, because we did a whole episode once on Facebook that was completely muted.
It's completely muted.
It was a special behind the scenes only for Instagram viewers.
And it looks like this. That was it. So I don't really know. It's funny because we named the episode, but I'm like, what are we even talking about? Because sometimes we'll come on with like, okay, let's talk about that.
Yeah, we're talking about business, marriage.
Okay, but what are we talking about?
We're getting to that. Oh my gosh, she's so punchy today. I'm telling you.
It's because it's Thursday.
Great.
Like, Thursday's my Friday. Like it's end of the week. Let's go. Let's finish.
Great. Go.
I don't have anything.
So good. So I did a post on this the other day, and it's to do with.
Are we going to talk about hormones again?
No, it's to do with being married and being in business together.
Good one.
Being married and being in business together and being around each other all the time. How do we maintain? People are like, how do you maintain sanity in your relationship? We don't have sanity. We actually love each other, love being with each other, love spending time with each other, and also have to carve out very specific time.
Yeah.
For our relationship. because this one here is very entrepreneur and would have a tendency to just work if given the choice.
Yeah. You look really nice in that shirt, by the way.
Thanks.
Just looking at the camera. I would. And you know, it was something that back in the days of burnout, it's kind of like Days of Thunder. Back in the days of burnout, which was over a decade ago, like I can remember you being like I need you were saying to me, you were like, I need attention.
Yeah.
I need love. I need to be like, I need to spend time with you because all I would do was work.
I got to fix that camera.
Yeah, it's kind of wonky over there. Just keep going. Let me tell you, there. That's better.
Better?
It's kind of traveling, but
It's still better.
it's way better.
Okay. So what were you saying?
So yeah, you were one of the first people to really wake me up to the fact that I was overworking because you were like, we need to spend time together. And I was like, what are you talking? We need to spend time together. It's like, we need to work.
Yeah.
And yeah, you really woke me up to that, which was really, really nice.
Yeah, the more and more we get, the further along we get in this business, because this business is growing, like things are changing and shifting and happening in it. And it's not possible for this to work. Here's the kicker of it. This business can't work if our relationship doesn't work.
Yeah.
But our relationship can't work unless the business works. They both play on each other. They both do their thing. And one of the things I've been really becoming more and more aware of the more I get into my own power, increase my capacity, really make sure that I'm doing the things I need to do every day for myself, like first thing in the morning, is that if I can't lead myself, I can't lead my marriage, and I can't be in leadership in the business.
So what does it mean to lead yourself?
I know, right?
What does it mean to you?
Leading myself, it's leading myself into the life that I want to have. Like, we're not leading to something that leadership isn't like, I want to stay where I'm at. It's like, leading is to get somewhere. If you're a leader of something, say like you used to do mountaineering, you were leading people up a mountain. There's a purpose to the leadership. It's to go somewhere.
Yeah.
But it's like, if I can't do that for myself, so as a man, what do I need to know? One, I need to know where I want to go.
Yeah.
Do I need to know what that's going to look like?
Yeah.
And I also have to have the capacity or ability to actually pull it off.
Yeah.
Which is why I have and we've talked about this on a different show before, which is why I carve out like 3 to 4 hours in the morning for myself to lead myself through my stuff before we even get into the day. Because if I don't have that, if I'm not in power, if I haven't taken care of my own, guys, if you're watching this, if I haven't taken care of my own needs, I will push my neediness onto her, and it will shove the relationship. It will put distance between us. And now our marriage gets affected, our business gets affected, our communication gets affected. It's all get affected because I'm not leading myself.
Yeah. Put truth in the comments down below if you see that in your own self or in somebody you've been in relationship with, or you're like, oh, if they don't take care of themselves, then there's like it puts a strain on the relationship that doesn't need to be there.
Yep.
Not saying that your relationship isn't a place where you lean in for support, but I'm saying like taking care of your own needs. Like the fact that you're like, by the time we see each other, you're like 3 to 4 hours deep into all your morning practice, your meditation, your movement, your learning, you're taking care of your men's coaching business. Like you've been doing so many things by the time we even see each other in the morning.
Yeah.
It's
So
really
I'm primed and ready to actually be able to show up because I've taken care of my own needs. Before, I used to get resentful because the end of the day would come and I'd be like, I don't have any time for myself. There's no space for me to even figure it out. So then we get into things in the relationship. I'd be resentful in the business, like all sorts of things. And it was all fixable by just implementing, hey, I'm just going to get up earlier and have a big block of time for my own life.
Yeah.
To work on the things that I want to work on so I can show up in power for what needs to be done.
So good.
Turns out also on the back end of that, that's a lot more, that is sexier than
It is. It's so much sexier. If he's like, I'll do whatever you want, whenever you want, and I'm like not even a whole human. And this is an interesting dynamic that we have.
Yeah.
And we talk about this a lot on the show. Like I'm sitting here going like some of you might be in the flip of the dynamic where you're like the man is in the power position and the woman's like, I need you. And we're kind of in a weird flip of it. And you've had to like come into your power because of it.
Yeah.
And it's really freaking cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. And the more and more that it happens, the more and more, and this is, it doesn't matter what the dynamic is. It's whatever the trouble is that's happening inside of an area of life, it usually goes back to, and I can put it for me, but you can twist it for yourself, which is it usually goes back to, I'm not taking care of my own needs.
True. Absolutely true.
Whether that's self-care,
whoever it
whether that's
is.
whatever it
Yeah.
is. It's just like the problems that we see aren't often the problems. They're the reaction to the action. And the action is if I take care of my stuff, the reaction's different. If I don't take care of my stuff, the reaction's different. Like it's a byproduct. And the solution is it always leads back to self.
Yeah.
It has to lead back to self. If it's not self, then we can't do anything about it. And then you get what you get.
You get what you get. And you know, I see that in business a lot. Like in order to lead on the level that I do, like I just did Women's Spirit Festival last month. We had 220 plus speakers go through it. This month we're doing trainings and we have 40 some women in our power circle. Like it's just like our trainings are wonderful. And I'm holding space for a lot of people. I'm doing a VIP day tomorrow on a Friday, which I like rarely do, but it's the only day I could fit one in.
Yep.
I'm doing a special VIP day for a group of 10 of my top clients. Really cool. Say hi in the comments, but down below if you know who you are. And I'm really excited about those things, but I'm able to do that because I take care of myself. And I'm like, lots of sleep, lots of like spacious time. We go in our hot tub, we're resting. I'm getting like, we're going to the gym. I'm eating well. I've hired an assistant. She's helping me with so many things. It's just like, it's increasing my capacity. Isn't just increased by me going like, I'm going to increase my capacity to do everything. It's like, oh, I have team members helping. I'm delegating more. I'm hiring help. I'm getting like healing treatments. And that makes it possible for me to do what I do. So.
And it's wild too, because if you look at it, it's like people are like, oh, like what do you do in the business to make the things work? And it's like, what's one question of it? But there's another question is how does your life work to make that work? Because it's not just that like we get up and we start doing business. It's get up, have all these different things. We also eat properly. We also do nutrition, like track our nutrition. We also work out. We also meditate. We also like do our own journaling or stacking, whatever it is. We also like do end of day check-ins and have like a happy marriage, happy wife protocol. I actually have a power
happy wife protocol.
There are all these different things that we do outside of this to be able to make this work and also still have a super connected, highly intimate, and a great sex life in our marriage. It doesn't just happen.
Yeah.
Like so often I see it in these groups I'm in where guys are like, you know, just there's an expectation that somehow because they're now married or because this thing's going on, there's like there's no effort that needs to be put into it. It's the complete opposite.
It reminds me of that Saturday Night Live skit where the guy's like, hey, I'm going to get married. And then like Will Ferrell and some other guy are sitting on either side of him. He's like, what's it going to be like, guys? And the guy's like, oh, it's going to be amazing. It's basically like as much sex as you want and you'll never fight and it'll be super easy and you'll love all her in-laws and like,
yeah.
And then the guy leaves and they're like, should we tell him the truth? And they're like, no.
No, he can figure it out himself.
And it's like that. It's like somehow you think it's supposed to be easier and it's supposed to all be there. And the truth is like the more that we work on it, the better it gets.
Yeah. And every time we want to go to another level in an area, it's and this piece here, like this nugget warning.
What are you gonna do? Nugget warning.
Every time we want to go to another level in some area, it requires all the other areas to level up.
Yeah. And sometimes, and that's often preceded by being in a funk having something not work. Like
Yep.
we've gone through times where we're like, it's over.
Yep.
This is done. This is too hard. And we leaned back in. And I think about that a lot lately because we've talked about this. It seems to be like normal that people split up.
Yeah.
And that's like, it's more normal that people split up than stay together. And it's more like even culturally okay. And it's celebrated.
Yeah.
And yeah, I get it. There are times when it's like absolutely legitimate. And then it's just so normalized to not work through stuff. And wherever you're at with your person that you're with, if you leave, you're going to be right there with somebody else and still having to work through
Yeah.
the trauma, the interpersonal stuff, the communication. Like you're going to be who you are. And you're just going to be that with somebody else. So
Yeah.
like, I don't know. That's how I feel.
I'm with you. Like we fight for this. I'm not saying we fight
And we fight.
in here. We're gonna, yes, do we get in things? Of course. It's actually healthy. It's actually healthy to work through conflict and come out to some better solution than either of us had.
Yeah.
But we also, like, every single day, the personal things I do on a day-to-day basis in the morning, like get up early and do my things, is yes, taking care of my needs, but it's also fighting for my marriage. It's also fighting for my relationship. It's also fighting for our sex life. It's also fighting, like, I'm using this word very specifically because the narrative that's out in the world right now is very anti-marriage.
Yeah.
It's very anti all this stuff. So I'm using the word fight because it's an actual battle that is happening to maintain this.
Mhm. And you've had to fight for it in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Like we both fought for it, but like you in particular, because of the position that you were in, have had to fight for it in a different way than me.
Yeah.
So like I've seen you become a warrior over the past few years and
Yeah.
fight. It's really cool.
It's it's the biggest thing. I left a message the other day to a brother about it, which was that's the thing that's actually happening. So over in another business, Becoming Legends, the one I do with men, the whole thing, it's not about, it looks like I do fitness every day. Yep. Do I eat every day properly? Yep. Do I do all these different things like meditation? I mean, yes, but it's not about any of those. They're just pieces to this whole thing. And this whole thing is having the ability to actually fight for myself, to fight for my life. Here's the thing. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's coming to make your business work. Nobody's coming to do any of it. Nobody's going to get you in shape. Nobody's going to make your marriage work. Nobody's going to make your sex life work. Nobody's going to make your intimacy better. Nobody's going to make your communication better.
Nobody's
It's
going to give you
all
$1
on
million
us.
unless you're a trust fund baby, in which case, why are you watching this? Go live your life. But I love what you're saying because it's like you have to do it yourself. Nobody's coming to rescue you or save you or take care of you. You got to do it yourself. And it's then once we accept that, it's like, oh, I'm going to do something about it.
Mhm.
And for men, it's really interesting. Like when I hear you say that you got to fight for it, it's exciting. It feels good. It's going to look different than how a woman fights for it.
Yep.
But it's like you guys need to fight for something. Like you have to have a battle to fight. That's
Yep.
just part of how you're wired. And to embrace that and accept it and run with it, it's very cool.
Yeah, and the biggest battle that we fight on a day-to-day basis, and most men are losing it because capacity is too low, power is too low, is the battle inside, the darkness that's inside that will devour you.
Yeah.
And put you into a funk and make you defensive and make you offended by everything, especially what she's going to say. Everything that is happening in your life is actually a result of the only thing that you have control over, which is increasing your capacity to go.
Yeah.
It's just, that's it. There's nothing else. Like as soon as we realized, and my coach was just saying, something to me about it, which was anytime you want to, like, you want to go somewhere else, it's actually not, it's like, oh, I need this funnel piece or this marketing piece. It's like, no, you don't need that piece. What you need is to be able to get that piece integrated into who you are so that you then have that ability to do it. Like Neil, I know Kung Fu.
Oh,
And
I
then he
love
all of a
that.
sudden
Yeah.
goes and has this Kung Fu
Matrix.
moment in the Matrix. And it's that thing. It's like, it's not about just learning about this thing. It's about actually knowing it. And as soon as I know it, Now I can integrate it into a holistic picture of my life and who I am and what goes on. And now I have the ability to go to another level. And every time I want to go to another level, I have to skill up or language up or whatever it is. But it's
Exactly.
always on me. It's always on us.
Yeah.
It doesn't go on anybody else. It's so easy to think it's going to be somebody else, but it's not.
And I think of like being in a point in our lives where it's funny because, you know, we're in our 40s,
Yeah.
but reaching a point in our lives where it's like, oh, it's totally up to us.
Like totally.
Like it is really up to us. And because of that, like we're having more fun and more success
Yeah.
and more enjoyment and more juiciness and like all of it. Because it's like, oh, it's up to me. Great. Let's just keep going.
It's like taking something actually to like understanding the seriousness of the moment
Yeah,
and going,
totally. Like it's your life to save. It's one life to live.
wait, did you get the new upgrade?
Yeah. One life to live.
All right. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't think they can see it, but we see it. If you put thumbs up on Zoom, it'll put your thumb up.
Oh no, you gotta hold it up. Watch this. You gotta hold it up for a minute. No, wait.
This,
See, watch. You
this,
gotta hold it up.
this distraction was brought to you by
Wait,
this
you're gonna love this.
Zoom upgrade.
Okay, here it comes. Watch. Now you gotta hold it up until it does it.
I think you did it too many
Come on,
times.
does this one work?
No, I don't think so.
Ah,
Okay. As we were saying,
it's a user error.
yeah, user error.
Mm.
So yeah, there's that. There's all the things. And what do you experience, everybody? Like in your life, in your business, in your relationships? Do you find that they affect each other? Like what's your experience been? Just write it in the comments to us so that we can get to know you, our community, who has been following along with the Power Couples journey, because now we're what? 2 months in, 2 episodes, 3 months in? Is it our like 3-month Power Couple versary yet?
This is like the 7th or 8th episode.
Very cool.
Yeah.
We like it.
So ask us questions. What do you want to know about? What's going on in your life? What are some topics you want us to talk
Yeah.
about?
And does anybody else, have you been in a similar dynamic where the woman is a leader in her life or her business and maybe not necessarily an entrepreneur, but she's like a high level leader in any company? It just puts an interesting spin on the relationship.
Yeah.
And do you work together? That's another one, big one. Like, do you work together? And I can't imagine life any other way.
No.
I freaking love it. Like, I adore it. I think it's the coolest shit ever. Sometimes people used to be like, oh, you guys spend so much time together. And I'm like, yeah, because we want to be. Why would I want to spend time with people that I don't want to be around with and then have zero time with you? And it's like, yeah, we're going to spend time together.
Right?
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, it's super fun. I just noticed this shirt on camera. I used to not like wearing this shirt,
It's a good shirt.
but then I put 10 more pounds on. I was like, oh, it was just made for somebody who actually had some muscle.
Yeah, you've been on like a sweet gain streak with the muscle work that you've been doing.
Yep.
Yeah, it's really
It helps. That's one of the things. It's like in order to have more leadership and more confidence and it's like important that we're working actually on our bodies also.
Yeah, especially as we like get into our mid to late 40s. It's like not even an option anymore. If we want to, it's not just about like, oh, being beach ready. Why I said that way, I don't know. Being beach ready. I don't know what do I even sound like? It's not about that. It's about like, am I going to be healthy as I age? I even put on muscle mass. Check it out, everybody. Check it.
Boom.
Check it.
Oh, look at that.
You feel that little pipe?
Yeah.
Oh, it's sore.
I saw a picture today. It was two guys in their, I want to say 75, it might have been 80. And it was one guy that was like built
Oh, I
and
saw that
ripped,
same
and
guy.
there's
It was
another
like,
guy
he was
with a
70 and I was
big,
like
pot belly, two people the same age. And it's just like the actions that we take that change it.
Yeah.
It's no different.
we heard that one guy this morning telling his story. He basically like was just like stuck in his soul sucking job and he was putting 10 pounds a year on.
Yeah.
And he did that for like 12 or 15 years. And it's like people end up really unhealthy and it doesn't have to go that way. And entrepreneurs oftentimes end up in that same unhealthy area where they're just like grinding and hustling and stressing and end up being either overweight or severely depleted. And I've had to watch this in myself.
Yeah.
Like after burning out, I'm like, I I can't do what I used to do. And I want to live a long, healthy, wonderful life. And I have to take care of this thing in order to do it.
Right. And in order to actually have a successful business that produces income for us and changes people's lives, a marriage that has great communication, intimacy, and sex, bodies that work properly and are healthy, and our own actual connection to ourselves, spirit, God, whatever you want to call it, all at the same time, because it's actually a requirement for any of these to work is to have all of them work. It takes like constantly putting um, attending to all those areas.
Yeah.
Like I can't just focus on business and expect my marriage to work.
Yep. We got to tend to all the areas.
We're together a lot, but we're working on the business when we're in the business. We're not working on a relationship. We just are really good together as partners who do a business together.
Yeah.
But that whole skill set is a totally different thing in marriage and different things. Like it actually requires us to do some actual work in it to be able to make it work.
It really does.
So there's no magic formula to what we do. We work at this.
Yeah. And like anything, work at your body, work at your marriage, work at your business.
Do you have another call right now?
Soon.
Okay.
We were talking about this earlier, like be willing to work for it. I was talking about this with our Power Circle group. So be willing to work for it. It doesn't mean you have to grind. It doesn't mean you have to hustle. It doesn't mean you have to be overwhelmed, because that actually doesn't work. But be willing to work for it. Be willing to show up for it. Be willing to work at taking adequate real breaks so that when you're working, you're feeling inspired, you're feeling good, you're feeling rested. What I notice sometimes is that women will work like 24/7. They're working like
Always.
they're always working, they're working 18-hour days, they're working 7 days a week. And then they're like, I don't feel inspired for my business. And it's like, yeah, because you didn't take care of yourself. And then you're blaming your business.
And then
The truth is that you were like scrolling social, or
Yeah.
you were doing something that should have been delegated.
and sometimes it's also my husband's not supportive, and it's like, because you're working all the time.
And not spending
Stop
time
working all the
with them.
time. Go spend some time with your husband. Take care of the things that need to be taken care of in other places.
Husbands
He'll
need
be a
love,
lot
too,
more
guys.
supportive.
Husbands need love. They need all that they do. Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. Husbands need love too.
Yep.
Right? Oh, this shirt is soft.
It is soft.
Wow. Okay, everybody, we're gonna wrap up.
Just gonna keep petting my shirt.
We're gonna wrap this up now, y'all. We gotta go.
We got to go.
This just got weird. Or did it get good?
Exactly.
All right, my loves, we're gonna wrap it up because I've got one more meeting before the end of the week. It's Thursday. I've got the Thursday yawns.
Yep. Hence the yawn.
Because it's like, it's our Thursday, it's our Friday. We've got some work to do on our motorhome. We're gonna be painting the walls over the next
We
couple of
got a
days.
full motorhome reno happening
Full
right now.
motorhome reno. Painting the walls is happening.
Flooring's gonna happen.
Flooring's gonna happen. That's gonna be great.
And
Like
then a whole bunch of other stuff.
a whole bunch of other stuff. Like, but the walls and the floor in, I think that'll make it feel like, oh, this is like, then we can start putting on the fun touches and
Yep.
things like that. So that's gonna feel really cool. So that's phase one of motorhome reno. And that's happening. And then we're gonna go to CrossFit, and we're gonna,
We got a 1 mile run for time tomorrow and a whole bunch of other stuff,
we should do a live with that, like carry your phone with you.
right?
Is that the only thing that is happening? I mean, that's like the main workout. There's nothing else with it.
Oh no, there's lots afterward.
wow.
So tomorrow's workout is a 1 mile run. Then we have a little like few minutes rest. Then we're gonna do how many max push-ups. Then we're gonna do max pull-ups strict. And then there's the workout.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, there's that. I said I gotta make sure that I body roll and stretch
And hydrate.
and hot tub and get ready for it. So that's happening. We got family in town for the weekend. We got like all sorts of good stuff happening. So
Yep.
we're gonna take this evening to totally rest. Oh, thank you. So thanks for watching Power Couples and being part of our journey. And we want to be part of yours too.
Yeah. You just get to watch two married people going through entrepreneurship and life together. And we're sharing it because we know it can benefit you.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we'll see you next time. Ciao.
Wait, does it work?
Now we got to push the buttons. Bye,
Oh,
everybody.
wait, there it is. There it is. Did you see it?